Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to make a shaker tag today, and Brutus Monroe has this new occasional tags die set out that I just love it. It has 3 different shaped tags or size tags. It has this little pocket here with these little decorative elements. I think this is really great. It has all the different holidays and occasions to make tags for. I wanted to find a way to use this to make a shaker tag. The other thing I wanted to talk about was some of the new stencils that are out at Brutus Monroe now. And I think they're good staples to have in your collection. They are called the stencil staples. And we have the circles, the diagonal stripes. And then there's also one called X pattern, which mine has seemed to walk off and I don't know where it went, but it makes this really cool pattern here. I did this on some light blue cardstock with the blue, I think it's blueberry velveteen glaze. And that's what I did on this card that I made. I think these X's are just so cute. They can be used for any occasion, any holiday. So these are some really awesome stencils to have in your collection. Very versatile. I did make this the other day when I was working on a card, and I didn't end up using it. So I want to try and use this today. And I used the stencil, the circles, with the chroma glazes on a couple different colors of yellow and orange cardstock. And then I just cut them into, whoops, I stuck those together, a bunch of little strips. And then I put them together at a diagonal. I just glued them onto, this is just a big Post-it note. I just glued them onto that, and then I die cut the whole piece with a stitched rectangle. And that's what I came out with. And I thought it was really cute, but it just didn't work with the card I was making the other day. So I saved it, and we're going to try and use that tonight. So I think that would be really cute as kind of the base for our shaker card. And I'm actually going to cut this out of also just a piece of plain orange cardstock. Actually, I think I'll do it twice out of this orange because we're going to use that a different way as well. Okay, so we have these die cut out, and the next thing I want to do is I want to score or fold them at the score lines. So they do have score lines, and this patterned one, as well as one of the oranges, is going to be scored, and the other one is not. So we have 2 that have the pieces folded and 1 that's just plain. I'm going to put these 2 together to form our pocket. And I'm going to use some score tape because it's very strong and I want to make sure this doesn't come apart. So I'm going to put it on all of the parts that need to be glued together. And then you burnish this down, helps get the liner off a little bit easier. But I like to use my Spellbinders tool to get that off. Okay. So I think we will start with lining up the bottoms. And then we should just be able to fold it to these sides to line up. And I'm going to burnish that on, this is the back. So I'll do that on the back here. So now we have our pocket there with our cute front decorated, and our back is there. I thought it would be cute to use this for the shaker part. I'm going to cut off where these score lines are because I don't need them, and this is just going to go on the front of the card. And then that will fit right on top like that. You're probably wondering why I use that fancy piece, because we're covering it up. But we are going to die cut a piece out of the center of this tag, and I'm going to use the middle size tag from our die set here, and I'm going to line it up right in the middle. And I am going to put some tape on here because I want to make sure we get it and that it stays in the right position. So let's go die cut that. Okay, so we have this piece. I'm going to be careful about taking the tape off of here because this is actually the piece that I want to use. And we'll keep this tag for later. We might not use it with this project, and if not, we'll use it for a separate one. So put this tag piece back on. So this is what we have. And I think I am going to cut off the top. I'm going to cut off the top of this. And then it leaves us with that cute frame. This is what we are going to build up our shaker with. Okay, so before we put our foam tape on there, we need to put our acetate sheet on. So I'm going to use score tape again for that because it's nice and strong tape. And I don't have to wait for it to dry, and it won't gush out little globs of glue all over the acetate. I don't like to use liquid glue when working with acetate because if you get it on there, it's really hard to get it off and not leave any smudges. So I use this score tape and just go along all four sides. And to cut down our acetate, I just put it kind of on the front and make a couple snips along the side. And then I know that it just has to be a little bit shorter than that to fit on here. So when I get out my paper cutter to cut it, I cut small, like on the inside of that line, so it's smaller than where that line actually is. And then you can kind of line it up on the side that doesn't have the adhesive first, just to make sure it fits. Okay. Next thing I do is get my microfiber cloth and just wipe some of my fingerprints off. We'll have to do this again, but just to get the majority of smudges and fingerprints off. And then You just want to line it up so none of it is hanging over. And that we can put down our foam tape. So we'll put down our foam tape on the back piece. I love this kind of skinny foam tape. It still has good height to it. So this is good to use for shaker cards. And you always want to make sure that you butt up the tape right next to the other piece, so you're not leaving any room there for any shaker pieces to escape from. So now this is what we have so far. One thing that I did just see on a Gina K video, so if you watch her videos, you might have already seen this, is to use a small paintbrush with some anti-static powder to make sure the inside part here of your tape isn't sticky, because if it's sticky or staticky, all of your sequins will kind of run up there. So just smush out a bunch of your anti-static powder, get it on your brush, and just paint it in these areas. Now, I've always used the anti-static powder tool when I'm doing shaker cards, but I was never able to get it really down in there where it needed to be, and I never thought of using a paintbrush. So thank you, Gina K, for that tip. And then I would just get my microfiber cloth and just wipe around in there to get any of the powder left, or you could even get a brush and brush it all out. Okay. So now we need to figure out what we're putting in here. Now, if you are a subscriber to the Brutus Monroe inspiration boxes, you know that there's always some awesome sequins that get included in those boxes. So I keep all mine together in this little plastic container because I like to use sequins a lot on my cards, and this just makes it easier to find them. I think that these translucent orangey red sequins would be really cute in here, so we're going to get those out. What else? Maybe some of these iridescent yellow ones. Okay, so we have our sequins separated. So these are the ones that I want to put in our little shaker here. So I want to make sure our little piece here isn't domed, or if I pour all the sequins on, they'll just fall off. What I'm going to do first is take off the backer from our foam strips to make sure I have that ready. So we have that ready, and then I'm going to put the sequins on here. Try to get it all in the middle. Or away from the edges at least. And then we can put this on. Make sure we push our foam tape down so it's nice and sticky. And see, look how cute. We have that fun background with the chroma glazed dots. We have the sequins here. And we have a little pocket to put our tag in. We have this put together. I have this other tag I cut out of the large tag die here with the orange cardstock. And I'm going to put this on the back. And that gives us something to put a little bit of ribbon through, kind of to hold the tag. You can hang it on a gift or whatever. And then we still have that pocket that you can slip a gift card into. So I am going to use some liquid adhesive for that, because I want to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room to make sure I get it where I want it to go. So I'm just going to put this on the back and line it up like that. And that's where I want it. So we'll give that a little push. And I think it's really coming together. I do want to add a little bit of a decoration to the front of this. And we have all these cool little dies here. I think I'm going to make this a pumpkin card. So I'm going to cut out, I'm going to get a fall gift card holder. So we'll cut out a pumpkin here, maybe a leaf, and put that together on the front. I think I also would like one of these scallop borders. So I think we'll use those with a combination of orange and yellow paper. I have our little pumpkin. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But I wanted to make him stand out a little bit more. So I'm inking the edges with a little bit of vintage photo distress ink. And I just have this little finger brush here. So I'm just starting on my mat and flicking color onto the pumpkin. And that'll help it stand out a little bit from the orange background, so it's not all kind of blending in the same color. There. Okay. So this is what we have. So we have our little pumpkin there, and a little leaf we can put behind. Well, I think I'm just going to leave it just the pumpkin. And I don't think I did. Okay. I'll just hold that into place for a minute. Once this is dry, I'm going to snip off those ends, but I'm going to give that another couple minutes to dry. And I'm going to pop up this little pumpkin on a foam square. Just going to stick a square on the back of him. And pop him right there. Just need some ribbon or some twine to finish off our little gift card holder. I don't actually have a gift card. This is just one of those HelloFresh cards you can give people, but it fits perfectly down in there. We can put our little string here, a little bit of twine here. Take my card out for this. I like to put it through from the front to the back with that loop. Open up, pull the string through and then gently kind of tighten it here. You don't want to do it too hard or you'll rip your paper there. And then you can just tie a knot here at the end. Snip it off. Put our gift card back in. And you're done. We have this cute shaker card, shaker gift card tag. You could write to and from on the back. You can hang it on a present or hang it on a doorknob or a hook in someone's office. I think that's a really cute way to give a fall themed gift card.